Good morning, family. Happy Sunday to you. Happy first Sunday to you in the month of May. We are moving along quickly this year, and time waits for no one. So we're moving on. So praying that you're having a blessed day and that God is continuing to keep you as He is keeping me. I don't want to keep you very long today. I think you see I got on my Golden State Warriors patches here. Game 7 jacket in support of our Golden State Warriors. Praying that they pull it off today in spite of the many things that I've seen that they didn't do right. But praying that you have a blessed day and you get a chance to go watch the game, or maybe if your favorite team is still in the playoffs, your favorite team. All right, let's jump in. Praying that you guys enjoyed throwbacks on that previous fourth Sunday throwback that we had last week. We'll continue to do those because I don't want you to miss some of those old messages. Praise break moment. Let's jump in. My praise break moment comes from me watching the news last night, and I didn't know I hadn't. I usually survey the week to see what I could find that really shouts me the most, and I didn't see anything until last night, and so I know this is God. So it went viral, and there is a father with his daughter on his shoulders at a New York Yankees game, and it goes viral. The dad has the daughter on his shoulders, and the ball is hit his direction. And reaching to catch the ball, as he's going to catch the ball in his glove, the daughter, she's on his shoulders, unknowingly covers his eyes. And even though his eyes were covered, he still catches the ball, and then he takes it and he hands it to his daughter. Now, that may have seemed like it wasn't much, but as I looked at that image, I couldn't help but think about me. Yeah, think about you. How many times have I been on my father's shoulders, covered his eyes with the things I've done in this life, yet he still blessed me and handed me the ball? Yeah, you don't want to miss that. How many times have I been on his shoulders? I mean, we're all on his shoulders. We're on the shoulders of what Christ did for us at Calvary. We were all on his shoulders. But how many times have I covered his eyes up with my conduct, how I treated people, things I've done, and yet he still blessed me with the blessing? That father still handed the daughter that baseball. He still handed her that. He still caught the ball, which was amazing in itself because his eyes were covered. But he still handed his daughter the baseball. God has still blessed us. How many times have he handed us the ball of healing, the ball of success, the ball of grace, the ball of mercy? What people saw, I saw a bit deeper. The blessing was the baby got the ball. And the blessing is we still get blessed. In spite of the things we've done, Daddy still gives it to us. That shouted me. Praise break moment. Maybe that daughter will grow up and look at those actions and see what I saw. Praying she does. But the dad still caught it. The dad still blessed her, even though she covered up his eyes. All right. That was the praise break moment. That's all I got for you. From there, if you have your Bibles, I don't want to keep you long. Open it up to the book of Luke. There is a story nestled there in Luke, the 5th chapter, and we'll just read a few verses today, and I'll bid you good day. Luke chapter 5, beginning at the 12th verse. Luke 5, beginning at the 12th verse, and as customary, I will put it on the screen so you can have it as well. Luke 5:12 through 15, you'll find these words. In one of the villages, Jesus met a man with an advanced case of leprosy. When the man saw Jesus, he bowed with his face to the ground, begging to be healed. Lord, he said, if you are willing, you can heal me and make me clean. Jesus reached out and touched him. I am willing, he said. Be healed. And instantly, the leprosy disappeared. Then Jesus instructed him not to tell anyone what had happened. He said, go to the priest and let him examine you. Take along the offering required in the law of Moses for those who have been healed of leprosy. This will be a public testimony that you have been cleansed. But despite Jesus' instructions, the report of his power spread even faster, and vast crowds came to hear him preach and to be healed of their diseases. That's Luke 5:12 through 15. God's word for God's people. May it be blessed from now and even after time is no more. For a few moments, I want to talk to you with this subject to speak to you about in regards to this verse, and that is, this might get out. This might get out. Secrets. Yeah, I don't care who you are. We all have them. Things nobody knows or things only a select few know, and that's the reason it's called a secret. It means to keep from knowledge or view hidden. Sometimes it's secret because we are embarrassed that it goes against a social norm. Sometimes it's a secret because we are only aware because the secret teller trusts us with the secret. But we all have secrets. No need for not being honest because unlike your church, more of the ministry, we're not here. Many churches are not like us. They want you to keep these secrets, but we are here to let you know that we're not perfect. There are things that we need to remember that God sees even if we don't think he does. Yeah, he knows your unseen things. And there is at least one unseen guest who knows your secret. Yeah, I don't care how much you dress it up on Sunday. I don't care how much you put on your best clothes to disguise it. Whatever was done, God certainly knows about it. So I don't care how you sauce it up or dress it up or put a bow on it. It doesn't matter. We all have something that we have kept from someone. Secrets. Here's the thing we should remember, that we have this unseen guest. But let me pause for a shout moment that I am loved and still blessed, even though my Father knows my secrets. Yeah, I'm still blessed even though he knows my secrets. That's a shout for us. Let me help you. And I'm going to be honest because, I don't believe in not telling the truth when it comes to what God has done in my life because I believe it will help you in yours. I recall a time that my father discovered I was taking his cigarettes. Yeah. He didn't catch me when I did it, but I was taking cigarettes one at a time out of the packaging that he had. He didn't catch me doing it, but he spotted me while I thought I had got away with it. See, he was watching me from a distance and he saw me with the cigarette. He still forgave me and told me not to do it again. He had grace and mercy upon me. But what I thought I had gotten away with, I didn't get away with because clearly he saw me. So he told me not to do it again. And as a result, from that time forward, I had not been a smoker ever since. But my shout is that he never told my secret. He didn't expose my wrongs. He loved me in my shortcomings and inadequacies. Yeah, that's a shout for somebody. That in spite of all the things that could get out about you, God has maintained the secrets about you, even though he knows it. Now, there are some things, family, that he definitely will expose. Oh, there are some things that have been exposed on you and I. There's some things that we don't get away with. But I'm so glad that there have been some times that my secret's been safe with him. Times that I've repented of my wrong and he threw it into the sea of forgetfulness and never remembered them again. But let me help you some more. There are some secrets that are just too big to not get out. We have found in celebrities all over that some secrets are just too big. You can't hide the things done that have major impact on either your or someone else's life. I mean, this might get out. When you are seeing visibly changes in your figure or visibly changes in your account figures, this might get out. How did you go from that to this? It might get out. How did you go from depressed to death to joy to be alive? Gravely ill to a new lease on life? Fat to skinny or skinny to fat? Lord help me. This might get out. Something happened either positively or negatively that may have been a secret to you, but others see it as too big to hide. You can't hide it. This might get out. Well, we've come across two characters in this text. One that we know well and one that we just met. We know Jesus. We know what he came to do. We know who he is and who he has made himself to be. But then there is this leper. This leper that he comes across. Just in one of the villages, he meets this man. And he's not just any kind of leper. There are levels to this thing of leprosy. That this man is a poster child for having something so severe to the max that it is described as an advanced case. He has the worst case of leprosy that is seen because it is advanced. Can I pause for a moment to tell someone that no matter what stage you are in, a healer can still come to town. Now, he may not heal everyone because the text shares eventually that he didn't heal everyone. But the shout for me and you is that he still has the power to choose you for a miracle. Yeah, he still has the power to choose you or I for a miracle, for an example of his power, for an example of his healing. We pray for people and everyone doesn't get healed and everyone doesn't get delivered from their circumstance. But praise be to God that there are times, family, that you and I can shout to the fact that he did it. He didn't have to do it, but he did it. He came through, he healed, he delivered, he moved, he made ways, and we can shout to that. But he encounters in this text this leper with an advanced case. Can you picture the scene? Sores all over him, visibly monstrous. When kids would see him, they would flee from him. People avoiding eye contact because they didn't want to look at him. His wounds are bleeding. He's itching them as he walks by. And then this man, whom has to yell out unclean so that people could stay away from him, he gets chosen to be healed. This might get out. This might get out. That a healer has done the miraculous. So then we counter to the person in the story, the other person, Jesus, God in the form of man. Nothing he cannot do, nothing he cannot cure. The molecules and cells in disease bends to his will. When he touches or speaks, he comes to town. Leper encounters him. And oh, I got to shout for when Jesus shows up. It's like when all hell is breaking loose in a movie and the villain looks like they're winning, and then all of a sudden the hero shows up. Here's Jesus. Oh, the hero in our circumstances is still Jesus. The one who can swoop in the nick of time is still Jesus. The one who's able to leap over tall buildings in a single bound ain't Superman. I'm talking about Jesus. So this leper encounters Jesus. The leper heard the stories because Jesus' secret got out. And he approaches him with humility. He says, if you are willing. Can I park here for a while? Because one must have a whole lot of faith in a secret they've only heard about to ask a question like this. If you're willing. It suggests that the leper has no doubt that the stories he heard were true. And so he asks Jesus for a miracle. He encounters one that he may not have seen him do a miracle, but he has to believe in Jesus to ask the question, if you're willing, make me whole. I mean, Jesus had to be thinking that a miracle this big should be a secret, but this might get out. This man has a severe, advanced case of leprosy. This might get out. If I heal him, he's going to go from looking horrendous on this day to looking different the next day when people see him. But Jesus ignores all that. And he says, I'm willing. Can I use that for a moment and help us understand that when the I am is willing, when the great I am is willing to do things for you, your shout should be ready just because he's willing. Jesus says, I am willing. I don't want you to miss the I am. I am is still willing to deliver. Oh, I am is still willing to help you wherever you may be in this life. I am can still rescue you. I am can still pull you out of any pit that you fell into. I am can still make a change and a way when there isn't one. I am can still do it. What comes next in the text is the leper's healing. Jesus speaks the word, I am willing, and touches him, saying, be healed. And the Bible says, instantly. Wasn't the next day. No special ointments or medication that will give a time-released healing. His face goes from broken out and bleeding to as clear as when he was born at Jesus' word. Instantly. Yeah, instantly. Anybody know that Jesus can make a change instantly? Instantly in your life. He can make a change in you. He can change your countenance instantly. How you look today can be changed instantly. We call that deliverance. He can deliver you instantly. Oh yes, some of us have a shout because that's our testimony. Does anybody remember how instantly he delivered you? Just when it was about to be over, instantly delivered. Just when the crash had happened, instantly you should have had your life taken, but instantly you didn't have a scratch. Do I have a witness today? If I do, please type in a comment. Yes, Lord. Yes, he did it. It was me. He's done it again and again. Anything that you can think of that resonates with you, that we have a God that no matter what you're going through can still heal instantly. And this might get out. It might get out that you're going to look different than when you did the day before. It might get out. Somebody might see the secret. Jesus tells him, don't say a word. Let me hurry on. The 70s group's Slave sings a song called Just a Touch of Love. And its lyrics suggest that it's just a touch of love. A little bit is all you need. My shout is that Jesus, all he needs is a little touch. So the leper is healed here, where the request from Jesus gets tricky. He instructs him to tell nobody but the priest. Because, family, it was the priest's validation that is needed for a leper to be declared clean. You had to carry out certain requirements so that you can be reinstated back into society if you were a leper. The impossibilities were that a person of leprosy could not get healing. Remember, there was no cure. So for you to be cured, you had to go through the process and the priest had to declare it. My shout has to be what the leper had to be thinking when Jesus told him not to tell nobody. This might get out. I know what I looked like before I came to you. And I'm looking at my hands right now, and I don't look the same. That's why we say the old preacher would say, I looked at my hands and they look new. I looked at my feet and they do too, because I don't look the same. This might get out. You see, there were people who saw me on yesterday that don't expect me to show up like this now. There are people who knew me back in the day that hadn't seen me in a while. And when they come around after these many years and see me now healed and whole, this might just get out. This might get out that something miraculous happened to me. This might get out. This is too big for me. This might get out. All the doctors who worked and looked at me said there was no hope. But now I stand here looking like somebody who's never been sick. This might get out. This might get out. And I also mean that it might get out for Jesus. It might get out about him. Yeah, it might get out that he can do miracles. It might get out that it's already gotten out before, but that's how I got here, the leper's thinking. But he's saying now, if he performs this, it might get out that Jesus can do a new thing that we haven't seen him do. He can cure leprosy. This might get out. I mean, I look different now. Think about this leper. I look too good now. I look better than I was yesterday. They're going to see me. My head is no longer hung low, but I can hold it up with pride now because I'm healed. I no longer have to yell out anyone approaching me that I'm unclean. This might get out. That before I could blink, he changed my life. This might get out because this is impossible, too miraculous for anyone to believe. This might get out. You want me not to say nothing, Jesus? These people know I'm sick. So when I show up at the corner healed, when I show up at the corner with this new face, they gonna put two and two together that it was for me being with you. Or they're gonna hear that it was you who did it. And so I believe the leper kept quiet, but this might still get out. Despite Jesus' instructions, the report of his power, the Bible says, spread even faster. Vast crowds came to hear him preach and to be healed of their diseases. My shout is, as I come to a close, is that as quiet as this leper was about him, the bullhorn still blew when they saw him. Family, I want to let somebody know. I want to let you know who I'm talking to today, that the bullhorn will still blow when they see you. Yes, this might get out that you've encountered the one that changed your life, turned your mourning into dancing, your weeping into joy, your sickness into healing, your depression into celebration, your affliction to answered prayer, your midnight into miracle. This might get out who he is. Who was the person that did it for you? His name might get out. It might get out that it was Jesus. It might get out that it was my rock and my way, my sword and my shield, my healer and my help, my start and my finish, my keeper today and change maker tomorrow. This might get out that there's nobody like him, that there's nobody better, that there's nobody stronger, that there's nobody more able. This might get out that there's somebody that could come to town and change everything that has happened to you in an instant. This might get out. This might get out. that I look different today than I did yesterday. That every day with him has made me better than the day before. I am changing. Sometimes it's not instantaneous. Sometimes I'm changing as I go. The metamorphosis is happening as I journey with him. The more I walk with him, the more I look different. Yeah, you're being healed of your leprosy. Maybe not instantaneously, but each day you walk with him, you get clearer and clearer. Oh, not only my face, but my vision, clearer and clearer. Not only my vision, but his voice that I hear clearer and clearer as you walk with him. I'm coming to a close. I got to shout on me, and I got to finish this before I shout myself. My late mother on last week would be 70. Certainly miss her, but she would be 70 years old had she not died at the young age of 56. One thing she taught me growing up, as I come to a close to help you even further, was to not be conceited. She taught me not to brag about anything. She always told me that you're not sugar, you won't melt. No matter what it was, she would tell me that I'm not as big as I think I am, or any. Humbling teachings is what I got from her. So I'm not braggadocious about anything. Certainly, I have some things in my career that I'm happy about, but you'll never hear me talking about that. I don't put my stock in any of those things. I put my stock in what God has done for me and what he's called me to do. And even in your jobs, as much as you may value them, God has given you those jobs, if we are Christian, so you can be a light for him. That's why he gave it to you. You're going to encounter people where you work or where you are that is not about you and your career. It's about you showing them that there is somebody they got to meet when their career is over. And their career can be over as quickly as an instant. And so my mother taught me not to be conceited. I'm that way today because of her. You won't hear me congratulate myself. You won't hear me seeking approval or compliments from anyone because I don't need it. She taught me that if you've got something that people can see, it'll get out without you not saying a word. So let me help you and I'll come to a close. On one day, I was wearing some shoes to school. They were not popular shoes. I think they were some tracks or something like that. In 1985, everybody was wearing a certain shoe, but I had on my tracks. Day after day, I wore my tracks to school. Day after day, I'd wear my tracks. I'd wear them out on recess. I'd wear them to the gym. I'd wear my tracks. But one day, my aunt, and they were expensive at the time. We certainly couldn't afford it. Bought me a pair of Air Jordans. So one day I went from wearing tracks to wearing a brand new pair of black and red Air Jordans. Yeah, I went from the tracks of the day before to Jordans on the next day. And I want you to hear this picture. This might get out. Not because I talked about it. Not because I said anything about it. But it got out because it was written all over me. You see, the people the day before saw me in the tracks. The people the day before saw me walking around with those shoes on. Matter of fact, I didn't care too much about those shoes because they was tracks. They were dirty. They were dingy. They had scuffs on them. They had rips coming apart at the sole because I had worn them for so long. But the next day, I showed up with the Air Jordans on. And without me saying a word, it got out because it was written all over me. Sometimes, family, I got to shout for you is that this thing might get out because the change that God has made in your life is written all over you. You don't have to say a word. They're going to see that you went from raggedy and ruined one day to looking better than you ever looked on the next day. And without you saying anything, this might get out that a change has come over me. This might get out that I look different than I did the day before. And so without me having to brag about the fact that I had on something different, people were able to look at me and look down and see that I had on my brand new Air Jordans. Can we cut back to the leper? When they saw him, they knew how he looked the day before. But when they seen him on the next day, he looked like the best thing out there. And he didn't have to say a word. Can you shout that it got out without you saying a word? That God has kept you. People keeping up with you. They're trying to figure out how you did it. You're not trying to chase me. I don't got to say nothing. It is the favor of God upon my life. You trying to chase the wrong thing. I got nothing to do with what God decided to say, what he decided to say when he was willing to bless me and heal me, when he was willing to touch my life and deliver me, because he was willing to give change to my life and to my family. I got nothing to do with it. All I ever asked him is, if you're willing, make me whole. And God has delivered. And I want to tell somebody who's listening to this today, you can say the same thing as the leper. If you're willing, make me whole. And we serve a God, because of what happened and what Jesus did for us at Calvary, that he can say, I'm willing. You know he's willing, because he stood out on that hill for us. We know he's willing. Let him touch you and make you whole. This might get out. Might get out that you've been changed. Might get out that you've been set free. Might get out. When it gets out, let me give you this for free. When it gets out, you're going to have some haters. Oh, yes. Some folk like to see you sick. Yeah, they loved it while you were still walking with your head down. They loved it because they thought they looked better than you and they looked over you. But when God delivers and makes you whole, you're going to look like the best thing out there without even trying. I didn't have to say nothing. All I had to do was show up to school with them Jordans on. And you can see the change. Imagine this leper. This might get out that Jesus has come to town and he's a healer. That's all I got for you today, family. I pray that you walk this week knowing that you look different because he touched you. Yeah, you look different because he touched you. And if he hasn't touched you, I pray that you seek a relationship with him. All you have to do is admit you're a sinner. Believe that he is the Son of God, came to save us on a hill called Calvary. And all you got to do is confess with your mouth that he is my God, and you can be saved today. You need help with that? Please put it in the chat. Inbox me on our Facebook page, and I will get back to you individually to help you with your decision. God bless you today. Know that I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. And you can't keep it anyway. No matter what happens to you, you can't keep it to yourself. This might get out.